Alright, so here's a high capacity diverter. When a bag comes by, if the system determines that the bag needs to go on this conveyor right here, that high capacity diverter will swing out and move the bag over to that line. It'll just swing out that way and the bag will go. So let's see if I can get some recording of that. Okay, so we've got this bag coming up. The diverter swings out and moves the bag on down the line. Alright, what you're seeing here is what we call a makeup unit. It's a stainless steel slope plate carousel. That conveyor that says CL13-10 is one of the conveyors. The bags will come down and slide onto that makeup unit and be ready for airline personnel to grab and take out to the airplane. Alright, throughout our system we have emergency stops. That's the emergency stop button right there. If I want to stop this line, I just hit that and it stops the line. Also, while working on the equipment, we have motor safety disconnects for each and every motor on the system, and we can simply turn this to off and put a lock on it right there. And when we do that, it's secured and nobody can turn it on if they don't have the key to that lock. Alright, what you're looking at here is called the bag measuring array or bag measurement array. And as a bag passes through it, lasers located there and there will measure that bag, how long it is, how high it is, all three dimensions, and it'll continue on down the line. Alright, I'm up here on this little platform. I'm going to do the monthly maintenance on this motor right here, which runs part of the conveyor for this oversized line right here. And I've got every tool I'm going to need right there in my little bag. You see this box here? It's full of locks. I've got a bunch of locks in there. I'm going to lock this thing off. I'll show you that here in a minute. Okay, so I get myself a lock and I come over here to the motor disconnect, turn it off. Take my lock right here. Let's see, how can I do this and still show you? Maybe I can do it this way. Yeah, you can see that disconnect switch there. Pull this out, put the lock in it, lock it up, put the key away, and that machine cannot be turned back on with that lock in there. So I've got it locked out and ready to work on. Alright, so I've taken the drip pan and the bearing cover off to finish what I'm doing here. I'm just going to be checking this hub here, make sure the bolts are not loose. I'm not using a torque wrench, so I'm just checking very lightly to see that they're not loose. And the next thing I do is I take that plug right there out, or at least partially out, loosen it up. It's nice and loose. take my ratchet off, do the rest of this by hand. I back it out just nice and slow, and I'm looking for oil. What I'm doing is checking the oil level, and you can see oil dripping out, so I've got plenty of oil. I clean things up as I go along, just checking to make sure it's got good lubrication in the gearbox there. Tighten it back up by hand, and I'll get the wrench on it here in a minute and just give it a little tweak. Okay, so the actual maintenance part of this motor is just about done. I've got to clean the drip pan up, get the dust out of it, and clean out that bearing cap too. The other thing I do is I inspect the conduit. It goes from the motor to the switch box, just to make sure there's no breaks or anything on that. Make sure everything's still safe, and that motor is basically done. Up there is where that motor was that I was working on. Up on that little platform, you can see the motor there. I've got one more to do on this conveyor, and I'm done for the day on the preventive maintenance. Alright, so I'm here to do the weekly maintenance on this high capacity diverter here. It's not too hard to do. It's just basically dusting it off. But anyway, like with everything, safety comes first. So here's the control panel. First thing I'm gonna do is take this switch it into manual, and I need to get that paddle right there extended out to where I can get to it and use it. So I'll push the button here. As you can see, the paddle extended. Just so you can see that again, I'll retract it. That's retracted. That's extended. Alrighty then. Alright, I've got a lock box that has my locks in it, and I'm going to take a lock, open it up, and down here I'm going to turn this off. See if I can do this. Well, let's see, let's do this. There we go. There's the switch on, switch off, pull that out, put the lock in it, turn the key, pull the key, put it in the box, and now everything is safe to use. Can't turn it on. Nothing's gonna work there. So that's not the end of the story though. The only thing that locked out was this machine right here. That conveyor belt, that conveyor belt, that conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt over there all also have to be locked out. So I'm going to get that done too. Okay, so now I've got the motor, this guy right here, turned off and locked out. Controls this curved conveyor. Of course, I've got my machine locked out. I have this motor turned off and locked out. Controls that conveyor right there. I have this motor turned off and locked out, and it controls that, drives that curved conveyor right there. And on the other side of that far conveyor right there, I have the motor locked out for it, and you can't see that from this angle. Now the reason I've got to lock all of that out is because in order to, the reason I've got it all locked out is so that I can get up here on the conveyor to do the work I need to do without any danger of these conveyors starting up. And this is the machine I'm going to be working on right here. I have every little tool I'm going to need for this in here. I've got my cleaner, I've got my rags, I've got a flashlight if I need it, I've got my little 5mm Allen wrench, got my screwdriver, and of course I've got my sockets. So everything I need's in the bag, and I'm going to get started.